Shalee Peters joining you here on the Rural Radio Network, and we're coming to you just outside of Clay Center, Nebraska today, and we're at the Weed Management Field Day, visiting now with Devlin and Zahur, and these gentlemen here are with the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, and they've done a lot of the work here around these fields that we're standing in front of. And gentlemen, why don't you just first start off by talking, this is your third year, your PhD students working with these fields. Talk about some of the work that you've done out here.
Okay, so thanks, Sally, first. And the thing is, we are working here since 3 years, and mostly we are working on controlling different weed spectrum. And those weeds are, in United States, like pigweed, like Palmer amaranth, like water hemp, like giant ragweed. Those weeds are really terrible weed, and they are getting resistance. So we are basically trying to mitigate and getting some proactive measure to delay the resistance. That's our main objective. And otherwise, we have some biological study to study the biology of the weeds and sometimes the migration of the resistance traits. So we are also working on that.
Yeah, we are doing the similar kind of work. Like we study the biology of different weeds, giant ragweed, Palmer amaranth, and we also do gene flow studies where we study like how the resistance moves from the resistant to the susceptible population that has not resistance. So basically, and we are doing some control studies where we try to enforce and educate growers about like using different mode of action of herbicides so that they can proactively control or delay the evolution of resistance.
All right, and in your 3 years working here, what are some of the major things that you've found?
Well, the major things, first thing is like resistance to herbicide is a big problem with farmer. And from 1996, they're spraying glyphosate, the only one herbicide that is Roundup, and now they're ending up with resistance and spending more money on the field. So we want to take care of that situation. Like if there is resistance, we should control the weeds. If there is not, we should delay the migration of the resistance issue. So those are the main things I have found here. And this spot, like Clay Center, is really good. We don't have really any resistant weed here, but we have a lot of weed spectrum, including pigweed, some grasses, giant ragweed. Those are terrible problem in Nebraska. So yeah, those are the things I found here.
All right, and Zahur, talk about some of the things you guys are covering today during today's field day.
Yeah, today we'll be covering different weed control programs in corn and soybeans, and our main focus is like to educate the growers how you can take different how you can take the control program based on the group of herbicides, because there is not a single one silver bullet. We have been using glyphosate for quite a while, since 1996. So now we have the problem of resistance all over the states, and especially in the Nebraska as well, we have glyphosate resistance all over. So to deal with this situation, now we have come up with different herbicide mixtures where we try to integrate different groups of herbicides. And the farmers, the growers, we always recommend like go and choose your products on the basis of modes of action. Don't we have to include that so that we will delay the evolution of resistance, and we will also manage the resistant weeds that we already have here. So and we have different new products are coming in market. FMC and other companies, they're introducing Dow, and all other companies, they're introducing new products where they're launching the corn and soybean with they will be resistant to different mode of action of herbicides. So we are also demonstrating such projects here where we are seeing the efficacy of those products as well.
Very good. Well, thank you so much. Again, visiting here was Zahur, and Devlin was his other assistant. They're talking today at today's Weed Management Field Day going on just outside of Clay Center, and about some of the different things that they've seen in their 3 years as PhD students. For the Rural Radio Network, I'm Shalee Peters.